Game 4 for the Canucks, Game 5 for the Rangers in this 97-98 season. Mike Richter will get his 4th start of the year. 2.16 goals against average, still looking for his first win. Kirk McLean has gotten all the action for the Vancouver Canucks. He's 1-1-1 with a 2.28 goals against average. The officials in this game, referee Dan Maruelli is joined by Wayne Bonney and Jay Shars as his linesman. And our coverage tonight includes closed captioning, and that's provided by New York's Marriott Marquis, Broadway's biggest hit. Skrudland going up against Trevor Linden here at GM Place.
Al, in Calgary 2 nights ago, Dan Maruelli was the referee. The penalties were, as far as power plays go, 11-3 in favor of Calgary. I think the Rangers have to be very careful from the bench at upsetting the referee.
Leach in front, knocked away by Kirk McLean. Kovalev carries behind the net. He's knocked down by Dana Merzen. Skrudland pursues the puck there with number 24 Scott Walker of the Canucks. Now for Martin Galanov, an improving offensive factor in the scheme for Vancouver. Galanov across the center ice line. Scott Walker, very feisty, collides with Leach. Bukaboom controls. Kovalev can't get it out. Merzen. The shot may have been deflected wide. Opening minute here in Vancouver. We await the appearance for the first time of Mark Messier on the ice.
Skrudland seemed to take a stick up near his face, and he goes slowly to the Rangers bench for a change. That was near the Rangers blue line.
At center, the puck eludes Sundstrom.
And you'll see Samuelsson on the ice without Karpovtsov, as Bruce Driver, I think, will be his partner.
Gretzky
for this one.
Getting away from Ledyard. A free agent acquisition to help the defensive abilities of Vancouver. Sundstrom on the forecheck, but he's missed, and here's Marc Messier to Pavel Bure. A dangerous combination, and they go 10 and 11. Matthias Ohlund, the rookie, knocked off the play. Now Gretzky stolen away, knocked in front. Richter with the save. Another drive kicked away. Another shot, maybe sticked aside by Richter.
Richter hot. The Rangers couldn't get the puck out of their zone. Gretzky's mad at the referee now, talking to him behind the play. Mike Richter starts strong for the Rangers as the Messier, Bure, Naslund line matched up against Wayne Gretzky's line with Stevens and Sundstrom. The Rangers were pinned in their own zone. You'll see here the Rangers moving up ice. The puck hit the referee. That's why Gretzky was mad. Because of that, the Canucks got the puck. One shot, another big one here that's kicked out. A third one that Richter waved at, but the puck went wide. So 3 attempted shots after Gretzky's pass hit the skate of the referee. Boy, so far this season, Dan Maruelli and the Rangers just don't get along. Messier's first shift. This is in the Rangers zone. When Messier's line's going out, the right side of the ice, the left side of Richter. That's Pavel Bure's side and Messier's side. That's where they'll be for their offense.
Boy, interesting takedown there on Messier. The Messier-Bure line is off. Pat LaFontaine, who leads the Rangers with 5 points on the season, checks into the game for the first time.
And the Canucks started Linden against Skrudland, and now they come right back with Linden on LaFontaine. So Linden's had 2 of the first 3 shifts with his line for Vancouver.
It's Graves, Keane, and LaFontaine. Keane falling down. One of the things Colin Campbell talked to us, John, before the game was he wants more speed through the neutral zone.
Yeah, he wants more attacking to set up the offense. What he's finding with his team is just 1 player's in the offensive zone with the puck, not 2 or 3 supporting the puck in that Vancouver zone. Brian Leetch had the opportunity to see his friend Mark Messier here in Vancouver. Had some lunch together. Boy, it was amazing. We talked about it in the pregame show how Mark Messier talked about Brian Leetch in such glowing terms, and what I found absolutely flattering for Brian, and really truthful if you think about it, Mark said that Brian Leetch helped elevate his own game, and that is really saying something special about Brian Leetch. There's Messier talking with Bure to try to...
You see the way he was talking to Bure? I mean, very adamant.
One talking, one listening.
You know, Bure's reportedly unhappy, and Messier has said, I've talked to Pavel, we need him if we're going to win anything here.
See, the big thing is if Mogilny gets back and signed with the Canucks I think will move either Bure or Mogilny, one of the 2. Bure is having fun playing the game again and playing at a very high level.
Rangers win the faceoff. Jeff Finley, soft shot that goes wide, and the Canucks take over.
Rangers trying to change on the fly here to get the Gretzky line on the ice against the Sillinger line, and not Messier and not Linden. So the Rangers change on the fly to get Messier away from the top 2 lines of the Canucks.
Kovalev finally gets it out of The Rangers own zone. Now it's Gretzky with lots of room. Kovalev breaking down the other side.
Offside.
Just missing.
Stevens just over the line. Just over the line as the Canucks seem to be changing at their bench, and the Rangers, Gretzky had the puck. Stevens jumped ahead of the play. He's mad at the linesman, but he was offside, no doubt. Over on the left side, the Canucks are all going one way with the puck. Bad turnover, and here's Gretzky. If he moves it to Stevens right there, a second earlier, it's a breakaway. Instead, Wayne was a half second behind the play, and Stevens was over the line. Just by a whisker, and a good call by the linesman.
Kevin Stevens, they used a device which uses negative and positive ions and all sorts of weird stuff to prevent the blood flow from getting into the muscle when he strained the groin. And then they electronically used another gadget to force the anti-inflammatory drugs into the muscle. And he misses one game with a strained groin.
Now, if you use words bigger than marmalade around here, you lose me. So sounds like the training staff did a pretty good job, right?
Yeah, oh, unbelievable. Jim Ramsey and company. Sundstrom, shot deflected perhaps by Merzen. Saved by Gretzky, in the shot, score! Bruce Driver scores for the Rangers with 16:46 to go in the first period.
You know, Goalie Campbell changed his lines on the fly to get Gretzky on the ice away from Linden or Messier. There was a stoppage on the offside, and Vancouver kept the same matchup on the ice. The Rangers took advantage of it. Driver nicely moves the puck, and here you see Stevens moving the puck. Now, this is a screenshot that deflects wide, but the Rangers want recovery of the puck. There's Gretzky. He finds Driver and a snapper off of Kirk McLean, and the Rangers score on their first shot on goal, 1-0 in favor of the Rangers. The difference so far, in my opinion now, Mike Richter made some big saves early, and the Rangers score on their first shot.
First goal of the season for Bruce Driver, and a pretty sneaky way for Driver to get into that play. For the Rangers, who won here in a preseason game 4-1, strike first. Skrudland taken down on a big hit.
Yeah, Hedeken will go. Hedekin's first game. He joined the team 2 days ago after not signing until then.
Back in Vancouver, Al Troutwig with John Davidson. John, they dimmed the lights here between the stoppages and play. Why do they do that?
Two reasons. First of all, let's look at the Gretzky delayed pass across. And you can see Kovalev got there, a great pass, a good scoring chance, and Kirk McLean makes a wonderful save. 7-3 the shots by the Rangers, but most of those 7 shots have been good ones. Well, they dim the lights for 2 reasons. One, they may isolate on somebody in the stands to put a little show on during the TV timeout. The other is, in dimming the lights, it takes the heat off the ice surface itself, and it keeps the ice even better as the game moves along.
See, you have the answers to it all.
It's just schmooze enough. Just schmooze.
You should write a book and call it Hockey for Dummies.
Hockey for Dummies by a dummy.
5:28 to go in the opening period. Kovalev pulls the puck away from Hedeken. Touch toward McLean, who kicks it aside. Picked up by Messier. Messier ahead for David Roberts, the one-time U.S. Olympian. Hands off to Bure. So quick. In front for Richter. Stopped, knocked down. Then he didn't know where it was. Now Bure's taken out of the play, and we've got a penalty.
Holding call against Ulf Samuelsson, who lost a stick. Amazing, you know, as watching Messier, he's keeping his shifts very short, trying to find his legs from that trip to Japan. I'm telling you, Bure stayed on the ice, got the Canucks into a position to draw themselves a power play, but his line will not be able to start. The way back there's Messier, and he stops and goes to the bench. Now the Canucks move in 2-on-4, and Bure is so good. With Samuelsson losing his stick, he was able to get the loose pucks, and there you can see Samuelsson used his arms to knock Bure down. This was a 2-on-4, but Bure made something happen with Roberts driving to the net. Look at that, all those blue jerseys, 2 white ones, and the white ones drew the power play, primarily because Samuelsson had lost his stick on the play. Earlier, this was Walker taking the shot off the shoulder or elbow area of Mike Richter, and then off the goalpost. Slight delay here as the ice is being repaired to the right side of Mike Richter. This will be the Canucks' second power play. Their first one, the Rangers had 2 shots shorthanded and good ones. The Canucks had nothing on their power play.
Tom Rennie, the coach of the Canadian national team at the Lillehammer Olympics, now a bit in the midst of a battle. Trevor Linden saying he didn't think the entire team was behind him and everything that was going on last season. The locker room atmosphere wasn't good, was it?
Well, the one thing that, yeah, they had a divided locker room last year, no doubt. But this year with Mark here, it'll knit itself together. Tom Rennie has shortened his bench in games now, something he didn't do last year. He'll identify his top 9 forwards bench the others. He'll go with 2 pair of defensemen if he has to. People that get ice time are the ones that deserve it. And also at the same time during the timeouts for television, they'll use that as a rest period to come back with his best players.
Linden and Skrudland were ejected from the face-off, and so now it's going to be Keane and Brian Noonan. Noonan's always working a big wad while he plays. 1-0 Rangers as Vancouver embarks on their second power play opportunity. Leach is able to clear. Kirk McLean there, how great he was the year the Canucks went to the Stanley Cup Finals, and what a strange 3 years it's been for him since. Last year the Canucks desperately tried to get he and Corey Hirsch to claim the top spot, but neither of them really did.
And Corey Hirsch today was sent down to the American League Farm Club for Vancouver and Syracuse. Kirk McLean had some personal problems. He's worked them out, and he's had a very strong training camp in the beginning to this season. So with McLean and Arturs Errey, Latvian, they provide Vancouver some solid goaltending.
Ledyard's pass is intercepted by Bill Berg. Berg takes it away and pokes it into the Vancouver zone.
Ranger forwards have gotten into the Vancouver Canuck passing lanes on their power play, forcing them a lot, and the passes aren't being completed.
Noonan stopped in the neutral zone, but here's Galanov centering. A gorgeous opportunity there for Messier, but he didn't convert. Sundstrom, and Berg is able to knock it out of the zone.
And Bure now steps on the ice in place of Noonan, so the Canucks now have their #1 power play on the ice. Bure, Naslund, and Messier, a regular line, and it will be Lume, and I guess they have Bohonos out there to play the point as a forward.
Markus Naslund drops it off for Bure. He gives it back. Naslund back for Bure, setting up behind the net. Messier sets, shoots, blocked down by Keane, I believe, and the Rangers get it out of the zone. Well, the Rangers, who have had so many of their shots blocked by the opponents so far this season, get a big block there. Messier had all sorts of time to pick his spot. 3:24 to go, 15 seconds to go in this Vancouver power play.
You know, you're right, Al. Coley Campbell talking about the Rangers penalty killing in Calgary, how well they did the time with the Rangers in their own zone, filling the shooting lanes. Karpovtsov was one example. He blocked 3 shots late in the game in Calgary by just staying in the lane, not shying away, not lifting a foot up, not sticking a stick out, just staying right there. You'll see Mark here get into the shooting lane. Now look at the Rangers stay in that shooting lane. Just take it away. There was 2 of them there. One was Finley, the defenseman, and he made a nice play. And then you could see that Skrudland, in getting the puck, he did not panic. He took his time.
What was that scribble?
The shooting lane.
Oh.
Watch Sundstrom over to the left side with Messier. There's a back check. A good job as Messier drove to the net.
Face-off all the way back in the Vancouver zone. It's taken by Brett Hedican. He drops it off for Steve Staios. Canucks get it out of the zone, and both teams are at even strength. Samuelsson intercepts and steals at center. Kovalev with the puck. Still with it. His pass is stolen. And out comes Vancouver. Sillinger right down the middle. Back is Bukaboom with Stevens, but we've got a penalty.
See a holding call as the Canucks were heading up ice. Donald Brashear, the big tough guy, is going to sit for 2.
Donald Brashear doing something he just can't do. He was holding at 17:08.
Especially when his team has the puck over on the right side. You can see him trying to pull away to slide around Kovalev, and he ends up pulling him down, or at least off balance. So the Rangers have a power play with under 3 minutes to go in the first and a 1-0 lead.
Kevin Stevens on the power play with Leach, Gretzky, Adam Graves. Gretzky peels away from the pack, tries to elude Linden. Linden deflects it, but Leach has it. Now it's Gretzky as they play ricochet off the boards, and his pass intended for Graves is dangerously close to the Vancouver bench, but cleared the other end of the ice.
Good job by Trevor Linden there with his quick stick to intercept the pass. It's interesting to watch Vancouver kill penalties. The Rangers have the puck. The Canucks are sitting in a quiet box in their own zone, something that the Rangers haven't seen a lot of. Usually the teams are really aggressive, Al, and the Vancouver team seems to be sitting back a little bit. That's when the Rangers have the puck in the Canucks zone.
Kovalev, pass Walker, ahead for Stevens. Coming back from one game with a strained groin. You don't see that too often. Rangers getting shut down in the neutral zone. Here's a chance for Walker coming in. Richter gobbles it up and holds on.
Walker is quick and he's fearless the way he plays the game. In fact, the Rangers lost last season 5-3 here in Vancouver, and one reason was the Canucks bumped them around a little bit. Walker was one of those players. And here, watch the back check of Gretzky heading back. Watch how quick he reads the play. Walker could have a breakaway. Richter sets himself. Gretzky hustled back, and Richter made a nice calm save, allowing the Rangers to freeze the puck up. The pass across to Leach, if that worked, that would have been a nice play. Instead, Gretzky, who made that pass to Leach, hustles back to cut Walker off before he could get the break in.
1:01 left in the power play for the Rangers. On the face-off, it's grabbed by Leach. New York up 1-0 on Bruce Driver's early goal.
We haven't seen this often. LaFontaine and Gretzky on the ice at the same time on the power play.
Here's Gretzky for Savard. He can't hold on, and Sillinger comes in to pick it up. Not a very snappy power play so far for the Rangers.
We're a minute 20 seconds into it.
Leach. Savard cuts to center. Backhand for LaFontaine, misses the mark. Driver. Picked up by Messier. All the way around for Gretzky. Nice play by Gretzky to knock it back for LaFontaine. Now there's a lot of blue below the goal line.
Ooh, baby.
Big
Savard
hit.
got nailed by Steos.
8 seconds to go in this Ranger power play, and the Rangers didn't even get a shot off.
No, not close to a shot either. Savard had the best chance, and he lost control of the puck.
Gretzky, even strength. Driver shoots. Knocked down by Ledyard. Ledyard with the block. Messier comes in.
Oh, man. Savard got hit. He spun around in a reckless fashion, and his stick hit Ledyard right in the head.
Bure the drive to the glove of Richter, who makes the save.
Baby.
And 35.8 to go.
Looked like one of those Fox things, Al, where the arm goes up and out. That was some save by Mike Richter and a high shot by Bure. Back in the other end of the ice, Savard was hit. He spun around and he let his stick fly in a reckless fashion. It clunked Ledyard right over the head. Ledyard was stunned by it for just a moment, so Savard goes to the penalty box. Good penalty killing by the Canucks, and now that leads to a power play. Watch Savard right in here on the right side, get spun around, and watch his stick clunk. You're responsible for that. That's reckless, and that's why he's sitting. So now with 35.8 seconds to go, the Canucks have a power play. Look at Steos right here. He really rubbed Savard out along the boards. The young player, Savard, learning about life in the National Hockey League on that shift.
I will say this, he does know what a big-time NHL hit feels like already.
He's taken something.
Yeah,
he's a durable kid. He can take it. That has shown so far. Now the Canucks go with 4 forwards and a rookie defenseman in Oland to start this power play.
Both teams are 0 for 2 on the power play, so this is obviously then the third chance for Vancouver. Trevor Linden wins the draw. Matthias Oland
takes a penalty. Sorry to interrupt, Al. Skrudland and Linden were the 2 centermen, and they battled hard. The Canucks got the puck, and Skrudland tried to get out from the faceoff dot. Linden held him up a little bit, and I think the way Linden is really barking at the referee, he feels that Skrudland embellished the play. Here's the 2 centermen. Watch them battle. Just stay with them. Stay with them. Stay with them. Skrudland was hooked by both Linden and that guy. So he was tugged by 2 guys. I think Jelena also ended up reaching in with his stick. Watch both of them. Well, Skrudland kept his legs going, went down, and drew a penalty to Trevor Linden.
If that was embellishment,
hooked.
if that was embellishment, it was a great performance by Skrudland. So Linden gives the Rangers a big-time break. That power play lasted only 4 seconds.
30 seconds to go in the period, and Bure and Messier out there. This is called speed.
Gretzky lays it off for Leach. Spins away from Ledyard. Here's Gretzky. Shot to the pad of Kirk McLean. Adam Graves is tangled up in front. Couldn't get a stick on the puck. And one last chance for Pavel Bure and Vancouver. Does the 1-2 spin on Leach. Goes left, then right, then back left again. Graves had it lost. Bure comes in. Shot to the shoulder of Richter as time expires here at GM Place.
There was 30 seconds to go, and each team had a good quality scoring chance. Oland did a great job on Graves, so he couldn't find the rebound in front of Kirk McLean. And Bure had no place else to shoot the puck but high to the stick side, and Mike Richter got the job done. Watch Graves in front with Oland, the rookie. Look at Oland. Battle Graves. Graves can't find the rebound, and the Canucks moved up ice. They got themselves a scoring chance with Pavel Bure shooting it high. Look at Bure. Nowhere else to go except for up top. Look at Richter right there. Played the angle beautifully.
Downstairs, assistant coach of the Vancouver Canucks, Stan Smyth, joins us. Stan, thanks for coming on. First, it looks as though your team really doesn't have a lot of leg strength still.
No, it doesn't. We want to be the team that is being aggressive out there, but we seem to be a little tentative with our reactions offensively, and we're backing in defensively and giving the Rangers our blue line, and that's 5 feet inside, and they're creating a lot of opportunities, and they're driving to the net well.
Stan, in your opinion, do you think some of that has to do with not getting the legs back really good from the Japan trip, and do you tell your players to keep their shifts as short as possible?
Well, John, first of all, I think, the Japan trip's behind us now, and I think we've had some good days with practicing before we played Toronto, and then we've had already one game. I think it's more of reaction and more of tentative playing in our own building and really wanting to do well and proving ourselves. And we're just not going out there and doing that right now. Everyone has a role, and they have to play that to a team, no matter how much ice time you get or what. You got to go out there and play.
Stan, thanks a lot for coming on, MSG.
Thank you a lot.
All right, still 1-0 Rangers. New York out shooting Vancouver 11-7. Mark Messier when we come back. Did Mark Messier score? Well, not exactly. The first period scoring summary is brought to you by Hertz. For business, for pleasure, nobody does it exactly like Hertz. Bruce Driver gets the only goal of the period. Rangers outshoot Vancouver 11-7. Rangers 0 for 2. Canucks 0 for 3 on their respective power plays. As we told you, the Vancouver Canucks and the Anaheim Mighty Ducks started the season with 2 games over in Tokyo, Japan. Well, there was one off night when Trevor Linden and goalie Kirk McLean had a yen for steak. Kobe beef, to be more exact. Here's how he explained the night's experience.
Well, you got to be careful because it was yen pile up pretty quick. But yeah, that's the thing. It was a new experience for everyone. It was unique, and there was a few stories the next day of what things cost. So it made it for an enjoyable trip.
How much does a good steak cost over there?
Well, it cost me and Kirk about $450. So it was good though.
That's our man, the grouchy Viking, Tom Meberg, on the scene with Trevor Linden. I've never had Kobe beef. That's a lot of simoleons right there.
That's a lot of fish nagels. That's 450 of those a piece.
Wow.
Not total.
I don't think the per diem covered it.
No. By the way, talking to Brian Burke and others with the NHL, that Japanese experience was very, very good for the people over there, for the players themselves, and our league. They enjoyed themselves.
We're all set for the second period. Both teams will start 4 men aside. We want to play it up every Saturday at 10 a.m. Rangers and Nick players interact with kids. Saturday morning on MSG is more and more good kid stuff with sports. So we'll play it up every Saturday at 10 a.m. with the Rangers and Nick players interacting with kids.
It debuted today with Adam Graves, and I understand it was terrific. And Adam Graves is the first-class type of guy to get on a show like that. Here we go for the second period.
Mark Messier had 2 pretty good chances to put the puck in on Mike Richter, but so far the Messier factor in this game has not been a real big deal.
Teams will start at even strength, 4 aside, with Linden having 1:28 to go on his minor, and for the Rangers, Savard has 1:19 to go.
Messier gets by Pat LaFontaine, hands it off for Bure, and in JD's opinion, Bure had a good first period. Goes in on Richter. Right, John, in your opinion, Bure had a very good first period?
You always listen, and if a person makes a slip. Folks, we were sitting here during intermission, and Al goes, Bure had a pretty good period. I said, I think you're right. So he showed the highlights. I said, in my opinion, I think Bure had a great first period. And you got a little offended by it.
I think that was a team opinion, personally.
Sam's probably sitting at home, relaxing, having a nice bagel and relaxing right now.
He's having about 10 bagels.
Say hello to Sam right now. Al, Sam, this guy's starting it up here, man. Oh.
Leach and Pat LaFontaine talking to each other before this face-off. LaFontaine against Leach one more time in front of Mike Richter, with the Rangers leading 1-0. Trevor Linden's in the box for 1:12, and the Rangers will have a very brief 4-second power play. Face-off won by Vancouver. Messier can't play it off the glass. Leach. Soft touch for Graves, and he smacks it out to the neutral zone.
And by the way, you're right, just looking at the statistical sheet, Bure had 3 of the 7 Canucks shots in the first period.
Which would be a good period, in my opinion.
Plus, he drew a power play, in your opinion.
No, that was in the referee's opinion. Graves' shot is blocked by Matthias Ohlund. And it's Jeff Bukaboom back at center. Leach cutting in between 3 defenders. The backhand is knocked down at the side of the net. Kirk McLean went down, and Leach didn't see an opening.
And Brian Leach is just flying. Here's a 2-on-1.
Bure with Messier on the off wing. Messier scores! As if by script. And isn't that how he's lived his hockey life?
Second goal in 4 games for Mark Messier. Bure on the great pass, a 2-on-1, and they're celebrating here in Vancouver. Messier, in receiving the pass, really made sure that he delayed. The Rangers had Leach in tight. The Rangers were changing. There's the 2-on-1. Watch Messier on the delay. Gets the puck, delays, and took his time before he beat Mike Richter. The Rangers changing, got caught against the 2 best forwards that Vancouver have, and they paid for it. Look at the open ice. One pass. Bure took boom and made sure he was able to complete the pass. Watch Messier delay. The stick's down. He's got the puck, and he puts it in underneath Mike Richter's goal stick. We're tied at 1. This could change the complexion of the game.
Mike Richter's contorted body came close to stopping that Messier shot, but that's expected to be a big-time connection for this franchise this season. Bure and Messier. A lot of speed and a lot of skill. 1-1 here in Vancouver.
Speed right here with Hennigan.
Shot in on Mike Richter off the stick of Dave Roberts, and that stops play with 18:35 to go in the second.
And 4 seconds to go in the Linden minors, so the Rangers have a very, very brief power play. The Canucks skating much better to begin this second period. Now, I know it's 4-on-4 action, which means more open ice. Bure with a helmet off to try and get himself cooled down a little bit. Players will do that on the bench at times, but the Canucks just look faster starting the second period than what they showed us the whole first period.
You know,
even
John,
the last rush with Hennigan, the defenseman.
Bure hasn't been happy, but if this guy is a winner, if he wants to win, this is a situation he should go out of his way to stay in because of the experience he'll get with Messier.
Well, if McGillney does sign, and he will sometime with Vancouver, there would be a decision, I believe, with the Canucks. I'm not so sure they'll keep them both. Either Bure or McGillney will go, and they're both fantastic hockey players.
Messier from Bure and Grant Ledyard. 1:02 of the second period. Nice save by Kirk McLean, who's really on his game. Out come the Canucks. Martin Galanov cuts to the boards. Bruce Driver helps break up the play, and out comes Gretzky with Samuelsson and Sundstrom. Samuelsson shoots in on McLean, who makes the save. Sundstrom checked into the boards by Stales, a very physical player for Vancouver. To another one in Walker. Galanov goes behind his back and then just sends it into the Rangers zone. 1-1 Vancouver, New York. Puck is loose and shot by Messier. Boy, from 10 feet out, he let it fly.
Messier's got a much different look here in the second period than what we saw in the first. He's much more, he's getting there. His legs are going now.
Lost by Savard. Shot to the chest of Richter. Taken by Markus Naslund. This is Errey Lume. Lume's tangled up by Samuelsson. Pavel Bure meets up with Driver in the corner. Rangers settle it down. This is Samuelsson with some room ahead to Bill Berg. Berg dumps it in. Rangers make a couple of changes on the defensive line. It's Leach and Bukaboom. Savard. Pass for Berg, a little behind him. Intercepted by Savard. Now to Keane, whose connection with Berg. This fires again. It's up into the Rangers bench. 16:44 to go in the second. Messier has scored. We're even at 1.
Talk about the Rangers and their back check. This is Ulf Samuelsson, the defenseman, on the puck, moving into the offensive zone. He'll go right to the net. Look at him drive through. He's trying to find some open ice. Now he's trapped. He's a defenseman. Here comes Vancouver. Now if we stop it here, it looks like it could be a rush, right? But watch Sundstrom come back and pick his man up. And all of a sudden, he hustles. He's got his man. Stop it again, gang, if you can. He's got his man. Stevens is over here and back in there. You can see it becomes a 3-on-3, all because Niklas Sundstrom reacted quickly.
Back live, 16:35 to go in the second period. Vancouver out shooting the Rangers 4-1 so far in this second period, where we're tied at 1.
Rangers just made a quick change on the fly and got Vandenbush opposite Brashear, and not one of the other Ranger forwards. So it's the big guys on the ice when Brashear's out there for Vancouver.
Our eyes on that one. Cross ice for Vancouver. Coming in is Don Brashear, taken down, and he heads to the boards. The referee's arms are at his side. Brashear gets it back. His offensive game is hugely improved from his goon-like days in Montreal. Cross ice by Brashear. Cairns is over there to check. It's Brashear again, banging into the corner with the Rangers' Jeff Finley.
Finley's played Brashear tough on this shift.
Sillinger spins away from Skrudland, who now picks up Brashear. He's got the puck underneath him, didn't see it, but now he's got it. Comes for the wraparound off the end of his stick, loose in front, and knocked away, and cleared at the last possible second by Jeff Finley. But Vancouver keeps it in. Skrudland. Finally, the Rangers get it out. Langdon breaks ahead of the play. Back is Lumet. Langdon's backhand is knocked aside by McLean. Trevor Linden at center where he's dangerous. Great pass. Shooting high for Vancouver was Martin Galanov. Coming off a 35-goal season, he didn't connect on that one. LaFontaine just off the bench for the Rangers. Keane. LaFontaine is double team for a moment. It's Graves now on the corner with Keane. Here's LaFontaine in front. Score! What a pass by Pat LaFontaine for Adam Graves.
Mike Richter a moment ago made a huge shift on the Brashear Sillinger line. A shot that was from the slot through traffic. I mean, he made a sensational save. The Rangers then were able to get out of the zone, make some changes, have a rush up ice. Graves put himself in front, waited for the puck, and he gets his first goal at even strength. He's had one on the power play this year on a great pass from LaFontaine. Watch in behind the net. You can see the battle along the boards. That's 2-on-2. 2-on-2. Now Graves will back out and go to the front. LaFontaine's there. Boom. Boy, LaFontaine just darts in, got the puck, and within an instant hit Adam Graves right on the stick blade. And the Rangers have the lead 2-1.
That's the 6th point of the season for Pat LaFontaine. He leads the Rangers in points. Adam Graves gets the goal. And the Rangers are back in front 2-1.
Keane got the other assist, Al, as he was in there battling for the loose puck.
Adam Graves couldn't stay with the puck. Now it's Trevor Linden. And Matthias Olin. Cross ice for Ledyard. He's checked by LaFontaine pretty hard into the Rangers bench. Samuelsson. Big time changes for the Canucks. Skrudland tips it for Graves, who dumps it into the Vancouver zone. Roberts and Hedican back there. Hedican's pass intercepted by Skrudland, but nothing is able to be built from that. Bukaboom hands it off for Leach. Leach fires, and it's deflected up into the crowd with 13:52 to go in the second period. Who's this?
Odjick and Stevens. Odjick not getting a lot of ice time. Met up with Kevin Stevens. Stevens has lost his helmet, and the referee tries to break things up. I don't think Kevin Stevens wants to get into a scrap with Gino Odjick. It just wouldn't make sense. Gino Odjick's a tough, rugged forward who did not have a great camp, was not in great shape, and Brashear is getting more ice time than Gino is. There's Gino picking up Kevin Stevens, staying with him, gives him a shot, knocks his helmet off.
I mean, that's not a punch. That's not a punch, John.
Gave him a shot.
That's a punch.
Yeah, a little rabbit shot from behind. This is a tough game out, hockey. There's Brashear earlier trying to drive to the net. Finley stayed with him nicely, and the Canucks got a lot of cycling going. This is just prior to the Rangers' goal. A lot of cycling. They worked the board strongly, and after a while here, they end up getting themselves a great shot from in front. Look at Brashear. The puck goes to the other side. That's Noonan. There's Sillinger. They work the boards. They're cycling in the corner. They did some good work, got themselves a shot, and the Rangers ended up coming down and scoring.
Vancouver 1-1-1 on the season, second in the Pacific Division, first 2 games in Tokyo. They opened up at home on Thursday night in a very disappointing 2-2 tie with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Rangers 0-4, first team ever in NHL history to start a season that way. Messier's on the ice.
Yeah, there's Messier, Bure, and number 3 Hedican playing his first game of the year. That is speed.
Kovalev. Now it's 2-on-2 as Kovalev enters the zone. Sends it in front. Nothing doing there. Bukaboom stops the penetration attempt of Markus Naslund. Now the Rangers have it in Bill Berg. Skrudland's got the puck off his stick. And he's checked into the boards by Lumek. Donald Brashear intercepted by Kevin Stevens.
Bure staying out for long shifts here for the Canucks. He's got skating legs, and he's staying out for, again, a long shift here.
Richter knocks it away from a penetrating Bure. And the Rangers come out 3-on-2. Gretzky to Jeff Finley, who shoots. I think it was deflected by his own man, Stevens. Gretzky back in front. And Stevens unable to get a stick on it. 12:25 to go. Rangers up 2-1. Bure. Intercepted by Niklas Sundstrom. Here's a chance for Gretzky. Stevens moving up with him. Gretzky cuts across, goes to his backhand. Shoots. McLean knocks it down.
That's Al. As Bure stayed out 45 seconds longer than Messier, Naslund, his line mates. He turned the puck over, and the Rangers almost had a break. And Gretzky did get a shot. That's because Bure stayed out too long.
Stevens with Gretzky again. Gretzky centers, tap to Bruce Driver. Shot, score! Bruce Driver has his second goal of the game.
What a shot.
What a touch pass.
Oh, baby. The Rangers controlled the puck. And again, I'm going to go back to Bure having a long shift. It knocks all your line combinations right out of sync. Then you lose your people on your bench. And on the ice, who's supposed to be up against who? Bruce Driver getting more ice time tonight, knowing that Karpatson is down with the injury. Watch Driver there. Join the play. The Rangers moving the puck. Great pass by Gretzky. Touch pass by Sundstrom. And there's the shot over the shoulder. Watch Gretzky. He brings people with him and then drops the puck back the other way. Niklas Sundstrom read the play. Driver snapped it up top. And the Rangers have a 3-1 lead. And I think Vancouver's called timeout here.
Yes, they have.
What a shot.
John,
did he ever rifle that?
How about this as a response to the Messier goal?
Yeah, you're right. Good call. Good call. Here's McLean's look at it. He doesn't really see it. And I don't think he expected a shot from that far out against the grain by Driver with that much velocity. But Driver scored 2 goals, both up to the stick hand, glove hand side. Now you can see Tom Rennie chatting to his team, and I don't know what it's about, but I know this much. Naslund and Messier went off the ice. Bure stayed on the ice for 30 to 40 more seconds, and that's not healthy for your club. Here you can see Bure along the boards here. This is real late in the shift. He's surrounded by 3 guys. His pass doesn't work. Now, as the Rangers move up ice, you see them heading up. Now, I don't know if you can quite see it, but at the Vancouver bench, Bure is now going off. As the Rangers are deep in the Vancouver zone, Bure had just gone to the bench. The Rangers just never stopped after that. And you don't get your line combinations in sync when somebody stays out too long.
Bruce Driver's second goal. Hasn't done that since February of 1995. Sundstrom and Gretzky earn the assists at 8:05 of the second period. The Rangers lead the Vancouver Canucks 3-1. Trevor Linden, Mr. Everything here in Vancouver, and now he's got to share that with Messier now in town. Samuelsson back behind the Rangers net. Scott Walker. Linden lays it off for Naslund. He attempts to go behind the net. Rangers covering very well defensively. Now Roberts pulls away. He's got some space. Loose in the crease. Linden scoops it up. Out for Olin. Off by about 5 feet. 11 minutes to go in the second period. The Rangers have scored 2 times to lead 3-1. Graves comes in. His centering attempt is knocked down by Grant Ledyard. And now Trevor Linden. Linden cuts to center, but he's stopped there by Bukaboom, and here comes Mike Keane. Up ice and playing it off the boards is Leach. He's got some room. Leach with a spinorama. Looks for a trailer. Gets it intercepted on the far side, and Kovalev tries to save the day. Kovalev coming in on McLean. Kovalev fanned on the shot. Loose. And the Canucks finally settle it down. Here's Bure.
The Rangers got their legs going again. The Canucks briefly to begin the second period, especially 4-on-4, had good legs. Gretzky's had a strong game. The Rangers are moving the puck, and so far, just nearing the midpoint of the second period, the Rangers have a well-deserved 3-1 lead.
Far side, Berg and Markus Naslund. Berg's got it for a moment, but there's some help in Brett Hedican. Now the Canucks come out 2-on-2. Messier with Bure. Bure just misplays the puck out to the neutral zone. How rare to see that. Bure's got to go all the way back down to his own goal line. Stales is there, pressured by Berg. But the puck is grabbed by Messier. Ahead for Hedican. Bure off stride again. Kovalev on the intercept. Rangers offside. Gretzky was already in the zone. 9:42 to go. Rangers up by 2 in Vancouver. Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Budweiser. Al Trautwig in for Sam Rosen tonight, along with John Davidson. 5-5 shots in the second period. Messier in a beautiful 2-on-1 breakout with Pavel Bure to his right, scoring a goal to tie things, and then the Rangers responding with 2 goals here. Graves and Driver getting them for the Rangers. They lead it 3-1. Keane, Finley, and now it's Darren Langdon getting another look by Colin Campbell. What did I say, Darren? Darren.
Be careful, you got to make sure with him. He's a tough guy out.
I do not want to make mistakes. Because the Langdon family will make sure he's the first to know. But John, as this puck rolls all the way back, Pavel Bure goes from being one of the best players on the ice to a player who makes 2 very strange mistakes just a moment ago. What's up with that?
Well, I think the shift that he was on the ice for, he stayed an extra minute and ended up with the Rangers scoring. He came out for his next shift and he couldn't even make a pass. When you stay on the ice too long, it wears you down. You don't recover properly on the bench to come out for your next shift. That's why coaches hate it when players overstay their shift. Your recovery time on the bench for your legs and your lungs and your mind, you need more time if you stay too long. So Pavel Bure stayed too long.
Chance for Sundstrom in front for Gretzky. Scores on the backhand.
Tell you what, the big boy, Wayne Gretzky, the great one, is having some game. He is flying. He's around the puck. He and Niklas Sundstrom and Kevin Stevens as a line have been super. And boy, does Kevin Stevens back in the lineup for the Rangers make it fit. Wow. Here you see the Rangers battling along the boards. Lume with just an atrocious play. The Rangers take advantage of his miscue, and Gretzky goes upstairs. Beautiful backhand shot.
How did he get it that high? That close.
It's Wayne Gretzky. He had gone 4 games without scoring. And there he beats McLean over top of the shoulder. You know, Lume tried to backhand the puck out of the zone, and he just missed. Sundstrom's there, Gretzky's there, and that line scores to make it 4-1. Gretzky scores his first goal, and I think that's 3 points for him in this game, correct? Yes, he's had 2 assists on the Drivers' goals, and now the goal itself, a 3-point night, and we just passed the midpoint of the second period.
4-1 New York with 8:10 to go. This is the same score the Rangers beat Vancouver in that preseason meeting here at GM Place. Rangers offside just by an inch or 2. So a big play here by Gretzky and Sundstrom, and the Rangers are up by 3. On Mark Messier's big night in Vancouver, Wayne Gretzky is the star.
You heard Wayne Gretzky say it's not just another night. There's Lume just with a dreadful pass. Ulf Samuelsson stepped up, gave it to Sundstrom, who gave it to Gretzky, and Gretzky scored his first of the season. He's had 3 points, and he's had an outstanding game. Outstanding game here in Vancouver for Wayne Gretzky.
McLean's got to make another save off the faceoff. Gretzky from Sundstrom and Samuelsson at 11:34. The Rangers are up by a score of 4-1. Shot by Skrudland off the glass. Kovalev picks it up and tries to get by Grant Ledyard. Here's Messier, or rather Bure. Bure coming in on Leach. Bure still with the puck. Still carrying. But Leach takes him away from the puck, and now it's the Rangers' turn. Bill Berg. Hey, John, has it been a while since Pat LaFontaine has been on the ice?
No, he was on the ice not long ago.
Here's the other number 16, Trevor Linden. Stopped by Richter, and what a stick save.
And Bure's out there for a long shift again. Naslund and Messier a long time ago went to the bench.
Bure turned around by Stevens. Here's Steo. Score! And Vancouver responds. It's 4-2.
Trevor Linden came off the bench and was fresh. He moved up the ice. Mike Richter made a great play with his goal stick, stopping the play, but the Canucks kept it going. And this time, here's the play by Richter with a goal stick. Boom puts a lick into Linden. You'll see it here in a moment. Boom, knocks Linden down, but Bure makes a nice pass across to Steos. 1-1, and Richter was caught moving. 1-on-1, Richter didn't stop himself, caught himself moving a little bit. Staios put it right underneath and through the legs of Mike Richter, and it's now 4-2 Rangers. That time Bure stayed out there, made a great offensive play, and Staios, the defenseman, scored.
First point of Steve Staios' season. 6:54 to go. It gets the crowd back alive here at GM Place. Boy, is it Trevor Linden want to will his team back into the game.
Kevin Stevens is hurting now. I mean, he's really hurting. He's mad at the referee. He missed something. Staios, I believe, the defenseman got him. And Stevens, he's just trying to stay because the puck is in his own zone.
Richter had to make a big play with his stick, and now he doesn't have a stick. Leach, desperate to get it out of the zone. He can't. And Gretzky makes the big play.
Well, Stevens looks like he was stunned, and now he's back skating pretty well.
Now Richter's got his stick, but it's not his goaltending stick. It's been handed to him by one of the other Rangers.
Trevor Linden's come out here, and he's tried to take the body and do some things. Leach has now returned the stick to Richter. The Canucks have a little adrenaline right now.
Yes, they do. Scott Walker coming in on left wing. Puts it in front. Knocked down. Blast deflected by Leach. Jeff Finley backhands it out of the zone. This will be an icing on the Rangers.
The Canucks fans applaud for the second time in the last few moments. One time was when Staios scored, and now after a good shift, Stevens shaking his head with Jim Ramsey there. He was banged, and I don't know what happened to him, but he kind of stood still for a good 30-40 seconds. Eventually got his skating legs going, but he's talking it over with the trainer.
What you don't want it to be, John, is
Kevin
the groin.
Stevens. Oh, he got nailed. He got hit up high by Staios. The puck came up the boards, and Kevin Stevens took a lick. Staios looked like he flew right into him and hit him up high on the chest, maybe in the chin, and he's stunned here. Let's watch Staios move in. Yeah, he threw a big hard one, might even have left his feet.
I think he did.
And you can see Kevin was woozy. And it took him 30-40 seconds of just staying in his zone, not moving much. See, he can't move much. He's a little loggy. And he hung in there, and at the end of the shift, he got his faculties back and was skating pretty well. But right here, you can see he was, worth calling Kevin. He had some words with the referee. Now he got back into play a bit, tried to pick up his man. Late in the shift, he two-handed Hennigan right across the arm. Oh, it's becoming a tough game here in Vancouver. 4-2 Rangers, and here's where he started to pick up a little bit. You ever catch a fish, get it out of the water, and then put it back in the water, and a little later it starts to swim pretty good? There's the two-hander across Hennigan's arm. Stevens started to get his thinking cap back on after he was stunned.
So you're equating lifting a fish out of the water as the equivalent of a big high check.
Well, you're just not there. Then eventually you get it all back. And here we go, the 2-on-1.
2-on-1 chance for the Rangers. Skrudland with Berg. Skrudland comes in, can't get the pass across. And now it's Messier, but he's stopped by Ulf Samuelsson. Oh, the Vancouver Canucks, when the Rangers scored that fourth goal, became energized. Kovalev with a great move, but it's knocked away by Dana Merzen in front of Kirk McLean. Boy, the tempo of this game has certainly changed.
Baby, I'll tell you what, Kirk McLean just robbed Kovalev on a beautiful play.
You get the sense, John, that Mark Messier's on the bench and basically says, if you think we're going to let a team come in here and beat us 4-1 like this, you better be.
And the Rangers have the same attitude the other way. That's why it's becoming a good game here again.
Big giveaway by Pat LaFontaine in front. Oh, and a save by Mike Richter.
And a penalty. The driver will go as he pulled his man down. Somebody's going. Holding call. It's getting hot and heavy. 4:40 to go in the second. You see the score.
Vancouver applying a lot of pressure, and Bruce Driver got caught for hooking at 15-20.
Earlier, Kovalev made the pass to Ulf Samuelsson. Good Kovalev's work around Merzen, who did recover, but Kovalev never gave up on the pass or the puck. Feeds Samuelsson, and he was robbed by Kirk McLean. Then later, LaFontaine with the giveaway forced Bruce Driver into making the play where he took the penalty. The Rangers were in good shape. LaFontaine tried to move the puck. It didn't work. The Canucks took advantage of it, and Bruce Driver had to take a penalty as he pulled down his man. So the Canucks, who trail by 2, have a power play. Another look at that save. Pavel Bure, who had a couple of bad long shifts, has now had a couple of great shifts, and Mike Richter just flat out robbed him with a big kick save. Boom taking his time here, getting a stick at the Rangers bench is why we have the delay. This is a big 2 minutes right here, I think, Al. 4:40 to go in the second period. It's 4-2 Rangers. Canucks on the power play, and they've carried the play the last couple of minutes. And the crowd's alive. This is a big 2 minutes for both teams.
Vancouver 0 for 3 on their power play attempts. Messier against Skrudland. Vancouver controls. To the point, it's Ledyard. He drops it off for Messier, who comes in on Bukaboom. Olin's shot wide of the goal.
The Canucks have Odjick standing in front of the power play, a big burly forward.
Bad play by Ledyard, and Bukaboom is able to boom it down to the other end. 1:40 to go in this Vancouver power play. Messier does the big swoop and hands it off for Olin. Olin gets past Sundstrom, but just barely. Bukaboom cuts off Gino Odjick. Interesting presence on the power play for Vancouver.
Big burly forward to get in front of the net.
There's a chance for Olin. The drive saved by Richter.
This kid could shoot it, folks. Olin is a rookie on the blue line. Toronto Maple Leafs had him sign an offer sheet to go to Toronto. Vancouver matched to keep his rights. Mark Messier said this is a kid that you could build a franchise around. That's how good he is. Now Odjick makes a nice play here to find the open man, and look at this rocket. Right through traffic, and there's Richter not letting the rebound get away from him. Now earlier, Odjick moved across and threw a hit into Bukaboom. Well, Bukaboom had a couple of words with him. Odjick will hook him a little and watch Book with his right arm. A little byplay. A lot of teams in this league put big forwards in front of the net on the power play. We saw it in Calgary with McCarthy. We're seeing it here with Odjick.
Face-off between Linden and Niklas Sundstrom in the Rangers zone. 1:14 to go on this Vancouver power play. Finley smacks it out. You know, John, I watch most games from between the benches at the Garden, and I think it's everyone's tendency to watch the puck. It is unbelievable how much stuff goes on away from the puck in this game.
The referees in this game are good at just catching things away from the play.
Linden at center where he likes to operate. Hands off for Ledyard. Back for Linden. Finley goes over to try and stop him. Smacks his stick a few times. Vancouver cycling on this power play. Good play by the Rangers, and they clear.
You see the difference. See, Vancouver played that tight penalty-killing box. The Rangers, when they penalty kill, they're way more aggressive in their own zone. They go right after the man with the puck.
35 seconds to go in this Vancouver power play. Chance for Linden. Tries to send it in front. Nice play by Leach. Terrific to block that centering try. Ledyard, Olin, and Linden. Brian Noonan hasn't seen much ice time in this game. He's back in for Vancouver on this power play. 10 seconds to go. Loose. Deflected wide, I believe, by somebody in front. And it's finally cleared by Jeff Bukaboom, who was a big presence on this Ranger penalty kill. And it will be killed. 1-0. 2:40 to go in the second period. Rangers up 4-2. Mark Messier has scored a goal in this period. Here's a chance for Gretzky. Coming in on McLean. Gretzky comes in, scores!
Oh,
Wayne
baby.
Gretzky has scored. It's a 4-point night for 99.
Oh, baby. Rangers with a penalty kill. A couple of touch passes, and Gretzky had the home run looking right ahead of him. He skated in alone, and did he ever root the puck? And 3 of the Ranger goals have been scored over the shoulder of Kirk McLean. Here's Staios. He gets hit hard. The turnover. One quick pass, the second one by Stevens. Gretzky moves in. They're all chasing him. Snapper, and did he shoot that one? Top shelf under the crossbar. Kevin Stevens forced the turnover. Kevin Stevens made the pass. There's the turnover. Boom. There's Samuelsson to Stevens to Gretzky, and he is gone. He's alone. Look at the top corner. Bang. Right there. Now we have a fight as Staios is going at it.
With Adam Graves.
Boy, with Adam Graves. Staios is the player that threw the big hard hit into Kevin Stevens, and I think this is payback time for the Rangers. Remember, he just nailed Kevin Stevens up high, making Stevens a little woozy.
Graves has the advantage because Staios has no helmet. Everybody's just standing aside, letting them work their energy out.
One linesman was just talking to the referee about how this thing started. Well, Graves comes back with one after Staios threw one. Graves throws another one, and now they're broken up. There's no doubt in my mind, Al, that this all started because Staios was the person who threw the hard hit into Stevens. Now remember this.
You're talking 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, oh, they remember this at the bench because it injured one of their teammates. But it was also Stevens who hit Staios a moment ago to create the turnover that led to the Rangers' goal. This is Staios on the puck. Stevens moves across. He wants him. He cut him off at center ice. Now all of a sudden, Ulf Samuelsson to Kevin Stevens to Wayne Gretzky. Watch this. Top shelf. You know, I think that Gretzky got his new blades in. He got his new Hespeler blades in to go with his stick, forward stick. I think it's the first game he's used them. And he's got a 4-point evening already.
John, I respect your opinion, but I don't think this is about stick blades, baby. I think this is all about.
I understand that, but this is the first time he's ever used this whole thing. He was using Easton blades with a different shot.
You know what I'm saying.
Oh,
here, right?
I know exactly what you're saying, but he didn't have a goal going into this game. There's something working with him tonight. I understand what you're saying too. This is the reunion game, and Wayne Gretzky wants to prove to the world that he's a great player, as is Mark Messier. They've been two of the greatest in the whole world, and they're both having. I mean, Messier has a goal, but Gretzky's got 4 points, 2-2, and he's had a great night. I mean, great.
And obviously, he likes to shoot high on Kirk McLean, and with the backhand and that snapper.
That's 4 goals up high.
Here's another chance for the Rangers. Pat LaFontaine sends it in on goal. Leg stop. Player knocked down. Who was it that had that chance? It was Darren Langdon. Another loose puck in front. Rangers continuing to turn up the heat on Vancouver. They lead it 5-2. Under 2 minutes to go. And Vancouver, I believe, was offside on the play.
Linden slow getting up. 4 of the 5 goals up high. Both driver shots up high to the stick glove side of Kirk McLean. Both Gretzky's goals up high on the catching glove of Kirk McLean. Here's Trevor Linden stopping at the blue line, goes down hard on his right hip. And he was a little slow getting up as the Rangers, who had the Canucks score a 1-1 goal early in the period, have really turned up the juice. Here you can see Keane in front. Langdon was in front.
I thought that could have been a penalty on Hedican.
There's the helmet of Patty LaFontaine. The Rangers changed the strapping after the Edmonton game to try and make it stronger and stay on the head of LaFontaine. And there you can see Mike Folga doing some more work on it.
I was talking to Mike Folga about that helmet, and they're as we speak constructing yet another new helmet for Pat LaFontaine, which has complete padding on the inside of the helmet with little holes in it, as opposed to padding sections inside the head.
Trying to make sure that the protection for Patty is taken care of. The problem with him is he's such a fearless hockey player. He goes into traffic, gets bumped quite a bit. The strapping came apart during early portion of the game in Edmonton Wednesday night. LaFontaine was hit hard by McGillis, a defenseman, and it knocked the helmet right off. Now here, there's some black marks on the visor that's being taken care of. Here's Keane in front of Kirk McLean. Langdon on the left side. He goes to the net.
Ooh.
And he got pulled down by Hedigan. Rangers close to getting to the rebound.
So Messier scores early in this period to tie things, and then Graves, Driver, Gretzky, and Gretzky again make it a 5-2 ball game with 92. Can this be a ball game? I guess so. 85 seconds to go in the second period. Odjick. He's got Bure there alongside. Now Pavel Bure. Checked out of the play by Bukaboom, who's had a very solid game. Bill Berg for Alexei Kovalev. Kovalev with some room, back, around, and stopped.
Alex tried everything to get around Ledyard. Ledyard did a nice job staying with him.
Bure tries to pull the puck away from Alex Kovalev and does so to Grant Ledyard. Ledyard scans the ice, goes ahead. Oh, bad pass. And the Rangers have it. Driver with 2 goals in the game for the first time in 2 seasons. Knocked down by Samuelsson.
For the Rangers, you know, they wanted to get their offense going. They certainly have had it going here in Vancouver. Patty LaFontaine's been a major surprise. He's played so well. And now watching Gretzky play on the line with Sundstrom on the right, that's not a surprise. They were together all last year, played great. But Kevin Stevens is fit. Man, is he fit on the left side.
And he looks so good,
Jeff. Yeah, he can move the puck quickly. He skates well enough, and he's a giant, 220 pounds. He gets to the net. And this line, I mean, this is one big-time night for the Gretzky-Stevens-Sundstrom line, offensively and defensively.
McLean intercepted by Gretzky. Stevens didn't see the puck, and now Vancouver comes out. Trevor Linden drops it off for...
Who was there?
Yeah.
Gelanin. Who was there? Sundstrom. I mean, there's a classic example of the Gretzky line being so good offensively, but on the defensive aspect, when Vancouver went to the net, there was Niklas Sundstrom all over Gelanin.
Checking out the Delta schedule. Here it is for the Rangers back at the Garden on Tuesday to take on the Penguins. Wednesday they'll be on the road to meet the Senators, and that trip will continue to St. Louis on the 18th. On the 20th, first look at the Carolina Hurricanes, and 2 days after that the Chicago Blackhawks come to Madison Square Garden. And John, as you well know, Texaco game night precedes all games.
You're looking for that free gas again, huh? Yeah.
You didn't get yours yet? I got that big fat coupon book.
Oh, you're a dog.
Yeah, 1,000 free gallons.
Yeah.
3 assists for Niklas Sundstrom. I'm sure you are. Well, you never like taking those freebies anyway. So
22 seconds to go. Big draw here. As you see Skrudland going opposite Trevor Linden, who was very good on the draws. Linden might get tossed. Yes, so Walker comes in, and I don't think... Oh, they both got tossed. Sundstrom took a real important draw, killing penalties here in the second period. He won it clean on the same face-off dot. So let's watch the two number 24s go head-to-head.
Walker and Sundstrom, as once again the Rangers wear the lace-up blue jerseys on the road. 17 seconds to go in a very successful Rangers second period.
Sundstrom did exactly the same thing. A quick little backhand move, and he won both draws that he took in this period in the same fashion. Now we have 5.8 seconds to go, and another draw as the Rangers have called for icing. This one I think will go to the right side of Mike Richter, not the left side, and I'm sure that Skrudland will take the draw again. Look at Sundstrom go partway down his stick with his both hands. Watch him just quickly draw it back. Boom, right there. And he tells his defenseman, there was Brian Leach, get ready because this is where I'm going to try to go with the puck. And every time the kid did a good job.
Rangers looking for their first win of the season, and they're in good position to pull it off. 5.8 seconds to go.
Here the Canucks are trying to look to their bench to see who goes where. I think Linden's going to try to get it to Jelena and then right back for the shot from Bohonos, who's got a good shot, by the way. Skrudland tied him up, did a nice job, and this should kill a period.
And not without Mike Richter having to make another save as that puck came screaming out of the corner. 0.6 to go.
Now with the face-off to the, which side are they going to? The right side of Richter. The Canucks should get a left-handed centerman in there to shoot the puck as soon as the puck is dropped. Here's Richter reading the puck out of the corner, intercepts the pass nicely as Walker paid in front. Leach knocked him down. McLean's on the bench. 0.6 of 1 second on the clock. Messier, I think, will go forward with that little time left. He'll go against Skrudland. Since he's a left-handed shot, he'll just try and shuffle it towards Mike Richter, I would think.
If it happens, it'll have to happen in a blink. Messier and Skrudland, that's it. So the storyline of this second period, it looked like Mark Messier was going to steal one on his night, but the Rangers reclaim the game as Wayne Gretzky definitely is in the process of making a statement. 4 points, 2 straight goals. It is the Rangers 5 and the Canucks 2. The Rangers out shooting Vancouver 21-17, but the shots were even in this second period, 10-10.
The Rangers have had a nice combination.
Now it's time for the GMC second period scoring summary, and Paula McHale, who types all this stuff, has been busy. Messier gets his second of the season to make it interesting 62 seconds into the period. But then the Rangers go to Adam Graves, Bruce Driver, and Wayne Gretzky to bust open the game. It's 4-1. It was 4-2, however, when Steo scored for his first of the season at 12:54, and then about 5 minutes later, Wayne Gretzky from Kevin Stevens and Ulf Samuelsson. Here's the shot summary. 21-17 Rangers, as both the Rangers and the Canucks are combined 0 for 7 on their power play. Now yesterday, Colin Campbell was passing some idle time, and it's the Coke Classic, John Davidson. It actually is. You see, what he was trying to do was flip the puck through one of the holes in the glass that the cameramen use to shoot the game for newspapers and magazines, and you know what he did? He broke the thing. Coley with a little snap to his wrist, and then the cleanup had to begin. Here's what he said.
Well, you know, I've thought of suiting up just for a special team on the power play, but I played here in Vancouver, not in this rink, and they retired my sweater, and it wasn't because of my shot. They retired my sweater while I was in it because of my shot. That's enough.
You know, they should send Coley a bill. Huh?
They might.
Oh, yeah. I would. He's got his team going pretty good here. The Rangers lead this one 5-2 after 2 periods. He's looking at the bench of the Canucks. He saw Messier go to the bench, so he's telling Skrudland to get off the ice as soon as he can when the puck's dropped, because he wants Skrudland to be matched up against Mark Messier the rest of the way here with the Rangers having the lead. That's what, when you saw Coley Campbell, he was motioning with his hands, turning his hands over. Quickly he wants changes. Kovalev and Berg are already on the bench. Skrudland's going now, and the Rangers have made the change within 8 seconds.
And you saw there more evidence that the Canucks just don't have legs. No goals in the third period yet this season. They won 1-1, so it's only 3 third periods. Gretzky almost had a chance, intercepted by Mattias Ohlund. Sundstrom with another takeaway. Here's Gretzky again. These guys are flying. Gretzky across the goal line, drops it back for Sundstrom. They're spinning, they're cycling, they're whirling, they're confident, these three.
And they're playing good defense.
Here's Sundstrom again. Gretzky chases Ohlund into the corner. Finally out of the Canucks zone. Kevin Stevens to Gretzky, fanned on the pass attempt.
Now the Messier line will be coming on the ice, and quickly the Rangers have already got Skrudland on the ice waiting for Mark.
Ohlund out of his own zone with a quick pass to Messier. Ahead intended for Markus Naslund. Misconnect. Richter sweeps it away aside from Pavel Bure, and now the Rangers with Bill Berg and Ulf Samuelsson on the left side. Following is Skrudland on the play. Still looking for his first Ranger point. Kovalev's forechecking attempt doesn't stop Vancouver. And here's Mark Messier. Side to side, pushed aside by Driver, kept alive though, and Bure just missed on the shot. Kovalev, only one Canuck back. Kovalev still with it. He's so strong, but this time he's taken down on the play. Bure skates out of his own zone. Rangers stacked 2 defenders in the middle. Oh, Richter had trouble with it. Needed a pad save to knock it away.
He stayed with it. Give him full marks. That was a change-up deflection on the way to Richter. It changed speeds, and he stayed with the puck.
Trevor Linden for Mattias Ohlund. Bure. Ricochet off the boards. Ledyard to Linden. Just deflected. I think it was Mike Keane who did a good job of, almost with his back to the play, deflecting that pass. Could have been dangerous.
Bure, an extra 30 seconds on that shift, too.
Mattias Ohlund looks like he's going to be the real deal, John, doesn't he?
I think so. I really do, Al. He's a big, solid kid. He's been their best defenseman almost every night so far this season for the Canucks. And that's their weakness, is the blue line.
I get that feeling because you're saying his name all the time. He's involved in just about everything that Vancouver's doing right now. 17:27 to go, third period at GM Place in Vancouver, where it was absolutely gorgeous today. Brett Hedican stopped by Jeff Bukaboom. Niklas Sundstrom's got to slow it down. Kevin Stevens. Now it's Roberts. Leach will be first to the puck. Ranger helmet left on the goal line. Kevin Stevens, and now Jeff Bukaboom circles in his own zone. Leach, dangerous play. Leach with Gino Odjick right there. Goes wide of the goal. Here's Odjick again. Goes down low for Roberts. Knocked.
In this situation, the Rangers want to make sure they stay away from the hook or the hold or the interference penalty.
Chance for Sillinger, back, and it's deflected on the shot taken by Odjick, number 29.
And the Canucks have gotten some fresh legs out there against the Gretzky line.
Just missing his Odjick with a bid for a nice assist. Gretzky stops, waits, looks, what touch. Driver looking for a hat trick, just missing by 3 inches.
The 2 defensemen were up with Gretzky because the other forwards were changing it. Wayne still made something happen.
Noonan with 2 goals in the game. Gretzky with 4 points. This is Mike Keane. Shoved off the puck. Vancouver looked to counter, but Sillinger was 1 step behind that pass.
A bad pass, and it's icing. Brashear made a nice play. Brashear and Langdon say hello to one another, but it's broken up. Well, the great ones had some night, and he almost got himself another point. See, Gretzky moving up ice, he's by himself. We stop it right there. That's Driver, defenseman, Samuelsson, a defenseman, and all the Canucks there. How can the Rangers make something happen? The other two forwards are changing. Look at Gretzky's pass to Driver, and this shot just missed. I mean, just missed before the other forwards got on the ice. Here's Bure's long shot that deflected. Look at Richter stay with it and kick it out. That's tough for a goaltender to do. He hung in there and made a nice save on the change of pace shot.
18,422. A sellout at GM Place here in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Another icing against Vancouver is their outlet passes just are not clicking. The Canucks not a very sharp team. The Rangers have been sharp and have the 3-goal lead.
As we mentioned, the Rangers back at home after this long transcontinental flight. There are a limited number of tickets for the Rangers and the Penguins Tuesday night at the Garden, and they are available at the Garden box office and through Ticketmaster. For ticket information, call 212-307-7171. John, I think we're about to see something I don't think you ever did when you were a goalie.
Oh, you're right. Because if I got bumped like this, I would have been on my keister, but not Richter. He's got huge thighs, great balance. Watch Jelena and Cairns move in. Watch Richter. How's that? Just spin away, get open, be ready for the shot. Great balance.
He's very cool, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is.
He's cool.
He really is.
Very cool.
You mentioned that with Pittsburgh, Yager will be coming into the Garden with the Penguins. Jeremy Yager, one of the, well, definitely top 5, maybe top 3, maybe top 2 players in all of hockey. That's a debate right now. Who is the best player? You see Gretzky do what he did here. You see Korea if he's back in the lineup. You see Yager. You see leadership in Messier. There's a million different things. It's a big debate right now. Hockey News named Korea the #1 player in the game now, and he's not playing because of a contract.
McLean doesn't see it. Graves had a big chance.
3 chances for the Rangers there, and Kirk McLean held his team in it. Now the penalty is Mike Keane, I think, will get called for tripping on the back check. Boy, Kirk McLean, by all rights, it should have been 6-2. Kirk McLean made a couple, 3 big stops, and then Mike Keane got caught on the back check taking the penalty. There was a rebound. Kirk McLean's one of the few goaltenders in the league that stands up like this. Look at him stand up, come across, make the second save, tried to get up, make a third save as he got his heels together. 3 saves in a row there, all staying on his feet with pretty good balance.
What footwork by McLean to stop that stuff attempt by Adam Graves.
You know, I don't think he'd be happy with his first shot here where he let the rebound out. 1, 2, now watch him get up and put his heels together. 3. Now as the Rangers battled and the Canucks started coming up, watch Keane there with a leg lock, pull down Bashir, and the Canucks have a power play for them with 14:33 to go, down by 3 goals. It's almost essential for them to get themselves a goal.
Gino Odjick. Vancouver 0 for 4 on the power play so far in the game. Rangers 0 for 3. Keane for tripping at 5:27. It is 5-2 Rangers. Pavel Bure. Messier is able to gain possession for a moment. Now he battles with Leach. While you may have thought, I certainly did, that Mark Messier would have one defining check in the game. Sort of a, all right, it's official now. I'm the enemy and so are you. But it never came. Grant Ledyard for Matthias Olin. He glides into the Ranger zone. Whips it at the top of the dasherboards. Far side for Bure. Ledyard poked away. Rangers very solid defensively.
Their penalty killing has really picked up. It was a real sore spot for the Rangers last season. The penalty killing is 10% right now better than what it was a year ago. And I think the confidence level for the penalty killing is getting up to a high that the Rangers need.
And the normally polite Vancouver crowd booing for the second time in the game. They can't believe how the Canucks are creating absolutely nothing up a man here in the 3rd period. Olin for Messier. Messier to Olin. Odjick stopped by Samuelsson. That's Sundstrom coming in on the captain of the Canucks, Messier, for Bure, who's tangled up. And once again, the Rangers get it out just barely. Sundstrom didn't get a lot on that clearing attempt. 15 seconds to go on this Vancouver power play, and they just dump it in, and nobody's there.
Icing as Bure did not touch the puck. Only 11 seconds to go on the Mike Keane minor. This time with Keane in the box, Adam Graves got a little more penalty killing time. And he, in a very confident fashion, got the job done. For Coach Tom Rennie, ooh, baby. It's mounting here. The Canucks split in their first 2 games played in Japan against the Mighty Ducks. Have been home for now 2 games. Have tied at Toronto And they're down by 3 here to the Rangers. A tough start.
Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Budweiser. Al Troutwig for Sam Rosen, off for the holiday tonight with John Davidson. Sam back with you, JD, on Tuesday. Rangers Penguins.
Rangers have the Penguins in New York on Tuesday. Leave right after the game for Ottawa, where they play Wednesday. Home after the game Wednesday.
Alfredson's still nothing.
No,
right?
not signed. No. We've got Mogilny not signed. Alfredson not signed. We've got Correa not signed. There's some big boys, important players to our game, not signed, and that's the shame of it all. They're important players to the game, sitting and missing key playing time.
Sometimes it's bad advice, sometimes it's good advice, sometimes it's just plain stubbornness.
And it's become big business, Al. Big business.
The Rangers forcing Vancouver all the way back deep again. Graves forechecking. Even Gretzky involved. Dana Murray gets it in.
It's the best team game the Rangers have played. They're working as one, whether it be penalty killing or at even strength. They're chipping the puck out with puck support like there.
Chance for Gretzky as he comes out with Keane. Gretzky to the slot. Gretzky cuts away. Gretzky now circling around and scoring!
Oh, baby.
The hat trick for Wayne Gretzky. He just held on until the time was right.
Oh, baby. Do you believe that? All the way back in the Rangers zone. Well, you know where it started? Vancouver had to dump the puck in. They couldn't make 2 passes. There's a couple of hats on the ice. The fans are standing and applauding Wayne Gretzky. And isn't this something on the road? Unbelievable.
John, if you were to tell me
applauding, look at this.
On Mark Messier's night that the standing ovation would be for Gretzky.
Do you believe this? You know what happened? Kevin Stevens chips the puck out of his own zone. It's 2-on-2, 2-on-3. Gretzky just showed patience. Watch this. Here's Stevens, chipping ahead. There's Gretzky. He sees, he's looking around, he's read the play already. Now watch, right down the middle goes Sundstrom or whoever that is. Now watch Gretzky just take his time, and scores. Was that Mike Keane that came down the middle?
Yes.
Took both Canucks right out of the play. And Gretzky showed patience and poise, and this is really something special. Fight time, Cairns and Brashear. Oh, Cairns landed an uppercut, knocked his helmet right off.
And Brashear's a heavyweight.
I think Brashear's trying to do something for his fans and his team as they're being embarrassed. And, you know, Brashear is tough. He's a big horse. Cairns a big kid. There's an uppercut. But the only thing the Canuck fans have had to cheer about, Cairns missed one, slips. He's going to take one, too. The fans here have nothing to cheer for, and Brashear in his own way is trying to do it for his team, and Cairns happened to be the kid that was in the way.
The only thing that bothers me about this is that we should have savored that Gretzky moment a little bit more.
Brashear saw his team being embarrassed. Was trying to do it in his own way, and I'm not saying that's right. Cairns, the kid, did pretty well considering that he had. Look at this, Langdon wants him now. I don't blame Langdon. You know what? I don't blame him. I really don't blame Langdon or the Rangers for getting upset here. Big deal, Donald. You've improved yourself as a player, but big deal. You go and win a fight with a 6-2 game. Big deal.
It seems so silly.
It does to me, too, and I don't mind fighting in the game. This one does seem silly to me, to be frankly honest with you.
And he's off, and the game's better for it. He's off the game, off the ice. What a game for Wayne Gretzky. First regular season hat trick for the great one here tonight. His 50th of his most glorious career.
He had one last year in the playoffs. Look, Mike Keane goes right down the middle, make sure he's not offside, takes 2 Canucks out. Now McLean, thinking backhand top shelf, took himself out of the play, and Gretzky really got it done. This is really a special night, folks. Keane plows in, takes both defensemen out, and Gretzky showed poise and patience. When he's bent over like that, the puck is extended a long ways out. He is at his... Mike Keane made a great play. It probably doesn't get an assist on it either. Only Stevens, I think, or at least Stevens and somebody else. Messier is arguing now with Brian Leach with the referees. He wants more than just the penalties that have been handed out. There's Brashear going right down at Cairns, who was standing there, and Brashear starts a needless fight, in my opinion. It just doesn't make sense in that situation. So Donald Brashear wins the fight, big deal. Cairns hangs in there. Langdon went over after, wanted Brashear. So I'm sure the Rangers will end up, the Canucks will end up shorthanded. There's Langdon moving in, and they go at one another. So the Canucks end up shorthanded a man.
How did that happen?
You know what? I'm kind of glad
I'm glad it did too.
Me too. I mean, not because of what team we're covering here, but more a case of it just didn't make sense. And you're right, it didn't. So the Rangers will have a man advantage, 5-point game.
95th time he's done it.
Gosh.
His numbers really, when you stop and look through, and you really should, if you're a hockey fan, get the record book and go through and refresh your memory every once in a while.
When you do that, it really is mind-boggling.
Oh, it is.
It really is.
On we go, 11:42 to go. The Canucks embarrassed. Their captain, center stage, major focus. And it was the other star, the other legendary player, Wayne Gretzky. Rangers on the power play, and if they score again here, the roof will just absolutely collapse on the building. Gretzky, Leach. What are they chanting, John? Can you
try
tell?
to figure it out?
Driver a shot. He's got 2 goals in the game. Just under 11 minutes to go. Gretzky picks it up. No one's on him, amazingly. Puck is loose. McLean kicks it away. There's Gretzky. Still with the puck. Sends it in front. Shot just knocked aside. Gretzky shoots high, and it goes to the corner for Brian Leach. Gretzky again. Unbelievable backhand for Stevens. Turning around is Graves.
The Canucks have nothing in front of their own net. They're just standing there. Wayne Gretzky toying with him. Kirk McLean's been left naked, and he's keeping the puck out of the net. Gretzky, he set up 3 scoring chances right there.
6-2 Rangers. Cross ice for Alexei Kovalev. That's Sundstrom behind the Vancouver goal. Savard. Savard again. Leach. Stevens. One touch. Savard shoots. Just missed. Kovalev can't save it at the blue line. Rangers come out, regroup, and repenetrate. Here's a chance for LaFontaine. No one back. And he elects not to shoot.
Well, he tried to pass it to Leach as the Rangers have the lead. He was too unselfish. He should have shot there.
Leach.
Same there with Leach. Here comes man out of the box.
This is like batting practice. This is hockey's equivalent of batting practice. Bohonos. Centering. Here's a shot and a save by Richter. Another poke at it by Sillinger.
That was good pass work there by the Canucks as they got back to even strength. And Mike Richter shows his stuff as his team has had a complete night, including some fine goaltending by Mike. This is a good read by Mike because he has to go all the way over to this side, then all the way back. Watch him move over to his left, now back over. Not only did he make the stride with his right leg, but he found a way to get his left leg over there to close the hole between his legs. Again, watch Richter, 3-on-2 Canucks, nice setup. Look at this back pass. Richter closed the legs. Sillinger tried to slide it through and couldn't. Gretzky on the power play in behind. The Rangers had 6 shots on the power play. There's one of them getting through. Gretzky there finds the puck, sets up another shot that was blocked. That shot by Graves. That shot by Gretzky was blocked. And the Canucks, they're just, it's like shinny. They're not playing a very physical brand in front of their net at all.
Rangers obviously didn't convert on that power play, so they're 0 for 4 in the game, but it seems insignificant considering what they've done at even strength. Here's Messier. Soft touch behind the net for Ledyard. Berg sends it back in. Here's a chance for Bure coming in. Another fabulous save by Mike Richter.
Yeah,
and a whistle stops play.
Pavel Bure, if he has nightmares, it's Mike Richter that's right in the middle of him. He's never had success against Mike Richter.
Mark Messier may not have legs, but the Canucks have his leadership. Let's watch him involved in this play.
Messier has seen a lot of Samuelsson and Skrudland. Looked like Mark stepped on the puck and Samuelsson pushed him over. This has been a Rangers big time night on the road here.
Chance for Roberts. He missed high off the glass. It's all Rangers here tonight, 6-2. New York offside on the move into the Vancouver zone. I mentioned this is the site of the All-Star game. And John, the format for the All-Star game this year, and you certainly hope Gretzky's involved, is a bit different, and I think exciting.
I think so too. What it is a prelude to the Olympics, basically. The North American-born All-Stars will play the All-Stars of Europe, and what basically everybody's hoping for is a more emotional All-Star game with maybe a couple of bumps and a lot of the pride, as the two sides will go after one another, and hopefully the pride will be real high and we'll have an emotional game. I hope so.
First time ever in February the NHL is going to shut down so the game's best players can play for their respective countries in Nagano, Japan. Vancouver just having an awful night.
It really is. It's a flat night for them. It's a night where there's not a great deal of spirit, not very much physical play, and the Rangers really seemed to be prepared and played a smart game and gotten a lot of leadership from different people.
There was that one brief stretch in the second period where the Canucks were energized, played well, really pressed Mike Richter, but they just couldn't sustain it, and then the Rangers scored all those goals and took them out of it.
It was only for about 3 minutes after Messier had scored from Bure on the 2-on-1, and then Graves scored from LaFontaine and Keane at 5:08, then Driver at 8:05, and then Gretzky, and then the Canucks got one back, and then Gretzky again. It was dominant.
Vancouver scores. Martin Galanov.
That's the first third-grade goal of the season for the Canucks, and Galanov, I mean, in a game where everything is just so, in the last few minutes, or everybody's just sort of just playing hockey but not playing with passion, Galanov makes some great moves, and he really rifled the shot to the top corner in a very emphatic fashion. He's got great skating lines. Remember the kid line in Edmonton with Joe Murphy and Adam Graves? Well, Galanov was the other player on it, made a nice play on Boom, and did he ever snap it up? He knocked a water bottle right off the top of the net by hitting underneath the crossbar and inside the goalpost. Outside, inside on big Boom, and snapped it over the arm of Richter. The Canucks now make it a 6-3 game with 3:23 to go.
Galanov became an offensive force for the Canucks a season ago, and it just sort of came out of nowhere. The word you saw with him was that he blossomed and found a way to score goals. That's his first of the season, and it makes it 6-3 Rangers. We're coming up on 3 minutes to go. Boom, bumped by Galanov in the neutral zone. But now number 23 for the Rangers goes cross-ice to his usual buddy, Brian Leetch. Assists on the goal, Scott Walker and Matthias Olin. 16:31 the time here in Vancouver. Almost a bad giveaway by Vancouver. And now Scott Walker outskates Ulf Samuelsson. Mike Richter's becoming a little bit more active with his stick, is he not?
Yes, I talked to him about it. He said confidence. It's working now, so I'm becoming confident with it. And I think he's used his goal stick more early this season than he's ever used it before, Al. That's a very, very good observation.
It's the second time I remember him using it in this game. All teams have their sort of designated fighters. It always gets your attention when one of the guys who isn't necessarily playing. Yeah.
Well, these two kids, they threw some heavyweight shots there, Al. They took them and they didn't budge. 2:11 to go. Pat Quinn and Steve Tambellini and Jack Birch, three members of the brain trust of the Canucks. Steve Tambellini in the middle, right here, used to play for the Islanders. He was a PR man, and with George McPhee leaving to go to run the Washington team, he took over as the assistant general manager. That's Jack Birch over on this side. Used to be one of the assistant coaches of the Rangers under Ted Sater quite some years ago. He's now their well, he does a lot of head scouting for them, or a lot of the scouting, plus he's involved with trying to put contracts together. He's been heavily involved with Michael Barnett, the agent for Alexander McGillney, trying to get that whole package put together.
You know one thing, with the new logo on the chest of the Vancouver Canucks, it's born of the parent company, and this is big business here, Messier for millions. It's a killer whale, and they're Orca Bay Entertainment. They also own the Grizzlies. They didn't spend all this money for the Vancouver Canucks to just be okay. Here's Messier tangled up behind the net, guarded by Kirk McLean. 142, 141 left in this one. Gets it back. 90 seconds to go. Don't you think there'll be some pressure on everybody involved? Rennie, the coach, went upstairs.
Yeah, very much so. There was a lot of pressure on Tom Rennie coming into this season. Their brother-in-law, Danny Gare, former NHL player and a great player.
And you know, it's unfortunate because you know the reality with all the traveling that Tokyo is just a bad thing.
Well, you know,
and yet Messier will sit there and say, you know, we're not going to make excuses. But the fact of the matter is, that's a long ride.
Well, it's a long ride, but I'll tell you, for the world of hockey, I mean, the benefits of what happened with the game being played over there, they loved it over there. They loved it. But we're seeing the Canucks right now struggle. And it was Messier and others telling me that, yeah, they're having trouble getting their legs going. They are, and they may not use it as an excuse, but as Stan Smyth said, it's behind us when we talked to him as the assistant coach. The reality of it is they're having trouble getting their legs going.
No, I'm just saying, good for hockey, no doubt about it. But for a Vancouver Canucks team and a coach who's been under fire before the season even started, to have that as a burden before you get home.
And that fella right there, former Ranger goaltender Glenn Hanlon, one of the assistant coaches for Tom Rennie. Yeah, this Vancouver team is disjointed right now. It's going to be interesting to see where they are a month from today. You know, will they blend together? Will they make some deals? What will they do with Mogilny? Will they try to find a defenseman to help them get better in their own zone? It's interesting. I know one thing. I think in reality with this game, Coley Campbell did a great job with the matchups that he wanted on the road.
Naslund and Samuelsson come together. Samuelsson wins it. Here's Gretzky coming in with a soft shot that goes wide by about a yard.
Sillinger and Samuelsson. You know, Samuelsson just threw a hit into Naslund, and I think Samuelsson could have really let it go. I honestly think he held up on the play. And Sillinger got mad, went over at Samuelsson for the hit itself, which was a clean hit. Naslund darting across the blue line, and Samuelsson could have knocked him in the next week. And watch Samuelsson. He didn't leave his feet. He just met with him. Elbow was down, stick was down, knees were in. Naslund went down. And Sillinger got mad, I think, at the hit and went over to make a statement on behalf of his teammate. Samuelsson could have put his stick up, could have put his elbow up, could have really laid Naslund out, and he didn't, which is a good sign. He now goes to the locker room as there's less than a minute to go.
John, I think you look really silly when you're getting beat up in your own building and all you do is pick fights in the last few minutes of the period.
I wish, honestly, I wish it was straight time. We can finish this thing.
53.8 seconds to go. Wayne Gretzky in a starring role. Hat trick, 5 points.
I honestly think, in looking at that replay, if Ulf Samuelsson wanted to, he could have done some damage on the hit because he caught Naslund. He could have blindsided him and really caught him. I honestly think he let up.
I thought Naslund did worse with the follow-up hit from Sillinger than he did from Samuelsson. That's the one that pushed him over. 40 seconds to go. Rangers very solid defensively. Bukaboom's been very dependable. Here's Gretzky. Gretzky making yet a final second bid. Pass in front, just missed. That was Kevin Stevens. Wayne Gretzky has an easy time picking Kevin Stevens out in the crowd. And the Rangers certainly hope that this game is the beginning of consistent success for that line.
The Rangers go home for a game and then back on the road for a couple. And this will give them their first win of the season. An important win for them, I think, as a team. An important win emotionally for the team. Gretzky gets the puck, puts it into the stands for the fans as a souvenir. And the Rangers win their first one. The great one had a great night, ladies and gentlemen. The team played the best game they've played this season as a team. They stuck together on the road, and you can see the growth that's happening with the New York Rangers as they head into this season.
Messier scored a tying goal and energized his team in the second period, but they could not sustain it. As Wayne Gretzky is the one who writes the headline in this game. 6-3 the final score. Bruce Driver scores twice. Niklas Sundstrom, Kevin Stevens, they figure prominently. Sam Rosen, you can go to bed. Your job's still safe.
Good job, Al.
And in a moment, we'll begin our post-game wrap-up of a very successful game for the Rangers, and it'll be a lot better on that flight home. A long one from British Columbia to New York that's coming up tonight.